Hi guys, welcome to this video on adding subtracting complex numbers. So, we are going to be adding or subtracting complex numbers using the rules of algebra in order to calculate sums or differences of complex conjugates. And you know that you can do this successfully when you can add two numbers like 4 plus 2i added to 3 minus I. So the rules for adding complex numbers. The adding and subtracting complex numbers is just like combining like terms with all real numbers. There are a few exceptions. I acts like a variable when we add or subtract it. We can never add the parts that we do not have I. This right here, if you would do that, if you add the parts that do not both have I, that would be like crossing the streams. And as Egon once said, don't cross the streams. If you are subtracting, you need to remember to subtract all the real parts and imaginary parts correctly. Meaning, like, if you have two numbers that are double negative, like minus a negative number, you need to remember that that's actually adding, not really subtracting. But in general, a plus bi added to c plus di is equal to a plus c plus b plus d times I. So let's take a look at how this works out. So what is the sum of the complex numbers below? So I'm just going to start adding stuff together here. So 4 plus 3 gives me 7. And then I'm going to wait to write my sign. So I'm going to leave this space blank here, okay, because I'm going to wait to fill in my sign. Negative I plus 2I, so plus positive 2I. Negative 1 plus positive 2 is positive I. And in order to denote that it's positive, so I'm going to put my plus sign in here. So this simplifies to 7 plus I. Easy peasy. So what is the sum of the expression below? So going from left to right, if you have a negative sign in front of a parentheses like that, you have to remember that that's negative 1 times that entire parentheses. So we really have to do some distribution here first. So it's really saying 6, and then in the parentheses, it's going to be 6 plus 2 minus 9i, and then you're adding here negative 8, so I'm going to keep that in a parentheses like this, plus 4i. So if I start adding all the real numbers together, 6 plus 2, so I get 6 plus 2 plus negative 8, and then I have negative 9i plus 4i. So 6 plus 2 plus negative 8 is, so it's 8 plus negative 8 is 0. And then negative 9i plus 4i is negative 5i. So my final reduced answer would be negative 5i. And that's it. Only negative 5i. So this whole expression up here is equal to negative 5i. All right, what is the difference of the complex numbers below? So 7 plus 9i, take away 3 plus 4i. So 7, take away 3. 7 take away 3 is going to leave me with 4. 9i, take away positive 4i, is going to leave me with a positive 5i. And I will use a plus sign to denote that 5i is still positive. So I get 4 plus 5i as my difference of these two complex numbers. And finally, what is the difference of the complex numbers below? So 12 plus 6i, take away 15 minus 3i. So I'm going to take 12, take away 15. So 12, take away 15 is negative 3. And then 6i, take away negative 3i. So 6i, take away negative. So minus minus is really adding. So 6i, take away negative 3i is 9i. And it's positive 9i, so I'm going to use a plus sign to represent the difference between the two. Or excuse me, to keep negative 3 and 9i separate. So my final answer for the difference of these two complex numbers is negative 3 plus 9i. So in summary, when we add or subtract complex numbers, you add the real parts and separately add the imaginary parts. If you're doing this correctly, remember you're not going to cross over, so you don't want to cross the streams. Okay? And anytime you do double subtraction, like in the last example, that's really adding your two terms. So that's it, guys. That's it for adding or subtracting complex numbers. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.